According to a study carried out by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, the sale of textbooks is particularly important for Ugandan publishers, as 95% of the country's publishing market come from the education sector. The study further shows that prices of textbooks are unaffordable for most Ugandan students who resort to large-scale photocopying of textbooks, to an extent arguably not allowed under copyright law. The anti-counterfeit bill currently before Parliament is proposing the banning of photocopying in the same vein as the Copyright and Neighbouring Rights Act, which limits access to photocopied materials.
So we really need to be careful to ensure that photocopied materials under the copyright law are not classified as counterfeit photocopied materials. Otherwise it's going to be very difficult in educational settings, especially at the higher institution. As you may know, when I was in law school, some of the textbooks cost no less than 200,000 shillings. Not everyone can be able to buy that kind of copyrighted material. And if they are to rely on photocopied material and they are got under the anti-counterfeit legislation, it's a disaster for access to education.
While countries such as Uganda are struggling with everyday challenges of education and literacy, the producers of knowledge goods, who are mostly developed countries, are increasingly expanding an intellectual property rights regime that poses current and potential deterrents to access to knowledge. The Center for Health, Human Rights and Development is proposing the enactment of clauses in the anti-counterfeit bill to permit parallel importing of education materials.
What happens with parallel importation is that you'll find that the same book is produced by the same person, but this book is sold on two different pricings in two different countries. So if the book is coming from Switzerland and it's going to Kenya, in Kenya it's 10,000 shillings, but if the same author is selling this book in Uganda at 25,000 shillings, then parallel importation permits the Ugandans to go and import the book from Kenya and bring it here such that it's at a lower price.
Copyright protection in Uganda extends to a vast range of creative products, including music, artistic, dramatic works, as well as some recordings, films and computer software. By 2013, the deadline for fulfillment of the TRIPS conditions, amendments in the laws permitting photocopiers must be in